Director of the Marvels, Nia DaCosta, recently talked about some of the pitches, ideas, and characters she wanted to include in the initial draft and pitch for the Marvels, up until we ultimately got the film we did. So let's talk about X-Men, Adam Warlock, and various other things. Director of the Marvels, Nia DaCosta, has made it very clear that she's a huge fan of the X-Men and that she was honored to be able to include that post-credit scene and that character. But beyond that, while talking about the initial pitch, the evolution of the script, and what we ended up getting, she reveals that she wanted to go full on out there and explore the bigger Marvel universe. She pitched using X-Men like Cyclops somehow in the script, whether it was Multiverse or a proper MCU brand new version of Cyclops. She reveals that at one point she wanted to have Adam Warlock in there and explain some of his story before he goes into Guardians 3. But then when the film's release dates and everything ended up changing, obviously Adam Warlock was, well, locked away to Guardians 3 permanently. And she said she wanted to also explore maybe what happens with him after that. Does he make an appearance in the Marvels with a more heroic status and tease what the Guardians are up to? She says she also played around with trying to go into different corners of the Marvel universe, whether it was a little bit more street and or cosmic, to just kind of give us a look into what's going on in the MCU around these parts of the world that we're not seeing. But she said this didn't really lend itself towards the story they were telling, to just take a 5-minute trip to go to the streets of New York City to be like, hey, look at these street level characters doing their battle. Like she says, ultimately didn't make sense, so none of this ended up making it in it. But I do love the evolutionary process she's revealing here, right? Like, I sat down, I was working on the film with them, and then I pitched them, hey, I got this idea, look at what we could do. And then they talked about it and figured out, well, we can't really fit it in because of other plans, so we're not going to do that. It starts to show you that at any point, directors are allowed to have some of this creative freedom, but it has to adhere to the bigger picture. Would showing a Cyclops have added anything to this film? No. It's like, oh, what? Ms. Marvel is in school and she's like, oh, I gotta run, I got superhero business, and suddenly a kid overheard her and he turns his head and he's wearing red glasses and we're like, ooh, it's Scott Summers, oh. Or worse yet, like the principal comes online, Scott Summers, report to the principal's office, wait for cheap pop and clap. Like, you guys get what I'm saying? It doesn't work. Oh man, now that I think about it, isn't that what they did in X-Men Origins? Like, it's just Cyclops in the bathroom, like, shooting off his lasers. I need to go rewatch that movie, except this time with the benefit of, you know.